I asked a question and all I got was kind of a deer caught in the headlights look and dead silence. Dead silence. This is a different video. It's kind of a behind the scenes glimpse into what it can feel like sometimes when you have to get up and speak in a church and there's been a very tragic event taken place. My question was about how do you respond to one of the worst situations you could possibly face when you get ready to stand up and give a sermon in a church. And that's what got me those deer caught in the headlights looks and the dead silence from experienced clergy and very experienced seminary teachers. I've had the challenge of being scheduled to speak right after some major disasters. Hurricane Katrina, 9/11, the death of Princess Diana. So I've done some tough stuff at times, but what I was asking about was much more challenging than that. Those situations were all public. Everybody had known about them for a while before Sunday morning, before the sermon. So they'd had a chance to process some. What do you do when there's been a shooting in a bar, a gay nightclub, and it's happened in the middle of the night, and some people at church will not have heard the news because the news broke in the middle of the night and they haven't checked their news before going to church. Then how do you handle that? You know, that happened to me after Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, Florida. The media, news, and print and film all showed up, and they were wanting interviews, and it took me a moment during the interviews to get a sense of what had happened. It was tough. I almost feel like I never really recovered from the Pulse nightclub shooting. Kind of haunts me a bit to this day that I didn't know quite how to respond to the needs of the congregation. Do you make an announcement? How do you make it? How do you break the news? Those kinds of questions I just didn't know. So now I find myself hunting through the news every time I speak or have to do anything in a church to see if there's any news that we need to address. And even if I'm not scheduled to do anything, I'm checking that news just to be sure. Sensitive and caring clergy clear across America from coast to coast have been hit very hard by what happened in Colorado at the gay nightclub.